open session. This would be item E. Item F, announcement of actions taken in closed session. None to report at this time. We'll move on to item G. This will be comments from the public. The board will take any and all comments from the public related to an agenda item, an item on the agenda, or any other item of district business that is not on the agenda. And we'll begin first, public comments from Mr. Slater.
Okay, I have two things. I really should have filled out two papers here, but try to squeeze this in my time. First thing I want to start off with is, my name is Will Slater. I teach physical education at the extended campus. And every year we get ready this time of year and we go over and we want to try to use the pool. Okay, so we get all fired up and get our schedules ready and wrote emails and this last year. But we ran into a problem last year where on Mondays they cleaned the pool. And we called around last year and looked around and we found out that nobody else cleans their pools on weekdays or during school time. We did. Several other schools that have pools. And because we had conflict. So this year we sent out the thing. We tried to make sure everybody knew when we wanted to use the pool. So we went over on Monday. We took our classes over there, showed up over there. And lo and behold, the pool's being cleaned. And we get told, no, you can't come into the pool. So again, we called back around the valley to find out who closes their swimming pools to their students during class time. And nobody. It's kind of an oddity that we do that. And so what we need to do is we need to figure out what maintenance is doing. And are they going to continue this kind of this endeavor of kicking everybody out of the pool so they can clean it? And when this got challenged and brought up, the response from our head of maintenance over there said, oh, well, there was chlorine levels that were low, and they had to do it anyway. But they had the chlorine levels all fixed and ready for the swim team to come in, but the rest of us, student body, we were denied that. So I think we need to figure out a little better way to manage our time at that pool so that it's available to the students. It doesn't make sense. I think we would all agree on that. I mean, and the people that we asked about that, they go, are you kidding? You guys do that? Yeah, the entire Monday is set aside for maintenance. But you want to point out, too, this pool, it's probably one of the most sophisticated pools in the valley. It's got a brand new system in there for cleaning and maintenance. It's a nice pool. We should be using it year-round because it's heated. And the reason we're not, it needs to be addressed. That's probably part of our problem, too. But so my last thing is, if we can get this pool ready for Homeland Security to come in, people that are known to be constitutional violators and civil rights violators around on a daily basis, I think we could have them ready for our own students. Okay, so I'll leave that at that. That's another personal issue for mine. But another thing too, I noticed over there when we went over there. And because I had bare feet and I walked into the boys' locker room, I almost went down. And I realized, who puts a slippery, polished concrete floor in an area where it's wet? That needs to be addressed. That's a safety hazard. Somebody will go down hard when they come out of a locker room. And it's like that throughout the locker room. It's not a safe situation. So, they have mats you can put down on that, or you can go in a machine and rough that up and make it so, but you can't have glossy, wet floors in there. Somebody will get hurt.
All right, thank you, Mr. Slater. Now, you had a second comment.
All right, second comment. We were here for tonight. We were told you guys are going to sunshine your proposal. And then we were told, don't show up. They're not going to sunshine the proposal. Okay? Well, so you're not ready. We are a year and a half behind on this. For some reason, beyond my knowledge and understanding, I do not know how we could be a year and a half behind on negotiations. And coming into this right now, coming into spring break, we're still not ready. It's going to be May. Your school year's over with. That's going to make us 2 years behind. Somewhere I'm not getting that. I just don't see how we can be that far behind. I think we need to step up our game a little bit, guys. Regardless of your strategies on this, we need to get this settled at some point. And you've settled with administration, they got a what, 5-7%? Somewhere along, I think we should come in there too. And I mean, because administrator salaries in this district have gone up to the top, and teachers have gone down to the bottom. I think we got our priorities messed up about where we're at. So I look forward to getting this settled. But the most important thing is that pool thing.
Thank you, Mr. Slater.
Carlos, can we look into that? Oh, yeah, thank you.
All right. Next speaker, Ms. Galindo.
Thank you. Good evening, Honorable Board, Superintendent, members of the public, colleagues. I would like to ask you to indulge me in a little bit more than the 2 minutes because I have 4 issues I want to address. Number one is I want to thank you unconditionally for having supported the opposition to AB May's Bill AB 824. I'm speaking on behalf of the IID. I think it's very important that we become aware of the fact that if this bill would come to fruition, Riverside County would not only take over the Imperial Irrigation District, but it would take over the power and the water. And this is a very serious issue. I admonish you and ask you to please ask Assemblyman Garcia to state his position publicly because he has told us personally that he believes that the IID should be represented by people in Riverside. That's a big problem. Secondly and lastly, this is all 3 of these issues deal with the CTE department at Calexico High School. Number one is I am honored and pleased to tell you that we had a visit from the mentors of the SSP grant that we wrote. Totals about $250,000 to establish a new pathway, the business pathway, and the by way of an entrepreneurship class. We are ready to start this class in the fall, and whereas we're aware of the fact that we don't have the room and we probably cannot get a full-time teacher, we have 3 members of the faculty that have the credential to teach that class, and we could do it on an extended contract. So I know that that's already come to you from our administration, but we are very, very pleased to be able to have this class. Secondly, I would also like to thank you for having approved the position of facilitator for the CTE department. This is a position that is not an administrative position, but it's going to help the staff tremendously, particularly over things that really trouble us, like Perkins and audits. It's going to free up a person to actually work on the scheduling and making sure that the students get scheduled properly so that they can in turn follow the proper pathways and we can raise the number of completers. And lastly, the last time that I spoke before you, I asked you to please allow the CTE department time during the summer for curriculum writing. We've not been allowed that time in the last 3 years. We are a full-fledged department. Our classes and our subjects, and I'm going to run out of time, but I'm going to hurry, are very complex and our industries are changing, and we beg you to please give us time to write curriculum. We do not have time during the year. I thank you for your attention and for your support.
Thank you, Ms. Galindo. Our next speaker, Mr. Horton, did you want to speak now or later?
I wanted to change it to K13.
Okay, K13. Okay, and that takes care of our speakers at this time. Okay, continuing with our meeting, we'll move on to item H. And we'll begin with H1. This would be the highest attendance for month 7. And this month is Blanche Charles Elementary School with 96.75. Mr. Gonzalez?
All right, so we're very proud of all of our accomplishments here in the district, and one of the ones that we're always looking to is attendance. And so we do have an incredible competition going on here at all of our sites for the Calexico Unified School District, which is attendance. So month after month, we have either one site or another site take the lead. And so we do want to congratulate Blanche Charles Elementary School for taking the lead this year. And so let's give Blanche Charles a big round of applause. And Also here from Maine's Elementary School, Ms. Noriega, and she's bringing out the precious trophy that will be passed on from one school site to the next. And so I know that Maine staff was here last time when the trophy was passed over. And so congratulations. And so next month we'll see who takes it, but I know that our sites are working very hard to work on being the number one site when it comes to attendance. And again, congratulations to Blanche Charles.
That this is her fourth time for that school.
Yes, congratulations. Let's
year.
give him a big round of applause for that. So, parents, staff that are here, you see these posted at our different school sites. And again, it's wonderful because what's happening is it shows the achievement when it comes to the attendance and how very important it is for all of our students to be at school every day. So thank you to our administrators. Thank you to our staff that is here for encouraging our students to be at school. So again, congratulations. Thank you. Yes, and like Ms. Hurtado mentions, the parents have a lot to do with it as well for the wonderful support. So let's give our parents a big round of applause as well.
Let's continue with item H2. This will be our student representatives, and we'll begin with Aurora. Aurora, we have Destiny Reese.
Good evening, Superintendent Gonzalez, members of the board, staff, and members of the audience. For the month of April, our seniors and juniors took the Cusd exam, with juniors taking English and math and seniors taking science. We also had a little fun before our spring break with the Eagle Olympics on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, with Tuesday being Trivia Crack, where our blocks 1 competed against each other with questions from history, art, literature, science, math, and technology. For Wednesday and Thursday, all of our students participated in many activities such as the sack relay, dodgeball, ice cream eating contest, and the water balloon toss. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Destiny. How about Calexico High School, Valeria Ceseña?
Good afternoon, board members and members of the public. Some events that have happened in the main campus is that ASB has had a very successful Pennies for Patients, where all 4 period classes donated money to help those suffering from leukemia. The school has also been in testing mode for state testing, which we started last week. All AP teachers are readying students for the AP test, which they will start in May. Lastly, we just had ASB Executive Board elections, which we voted on our new 2019 to 2020 board members. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you very much. 9th grade, Adrian Campos, not here today. We'll continue with Enrique Camarena, Alondra Tesman.
Good evening. On April, we had a few events going on. On April 10, we had our very successful open house. Many students and parents participated in it. On April 11th, we had our Schools to Watch Assembly. A representative from the California League of Schools presented the school with a banner to show the community our Schools to Watch award. Last week, we had all of our basketball and co-ed flag football compete in a tournament and came back with a second place trophy in the championships. And finally, today we had our field day activities, which included staff versus student games. Thank you.
Thank you, Alondra. Willie Moreno, Natalie Kravaskis.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Natalie Travaskis, and I am part of the ASB at William Moreno Junior High. Today, we will share the events we have planned for the month of April. This month, we had our spring fling. The spring break took place today during the last 55 minutes of the day. All students were allowed to wear free dress using a free dress pass. Some students received a yellow VIP bracelet, which allowed them to participate in the Easter egg hunt and sponge races. During the spring fling, students played basketball or danced to music. Every student received a ice pop. They sat and chatted while they enjoyed their ice pops. Those were all the events during our spring fling. It was a great way to kick off spring break. Thank you.
Thank you, Natalie. We'll continue with item H3. This will be our Student of the Month recognitions. Let's begin with Aurora, Valeria Barbosa, Amris, Ronaldo Tirado Jr. Is Valeria here? Valeria, come on up with the parents.
Our first student of the month is Valeria Barbosa. Valeria's hobbies are doing makeup on herself and on other people. Her goal for the end of the school year is to graduate. Her favorite subject is math, and she would like to attend college after she finishes high school. She would like to study to be a kinder teacher at IVC. She would like to thank her cousins and her parents for always helping her and always being there.
Okay, thank Ronaldo. Is Ronaldo here? No? Okay, thank you. All right, we'll continue then with Calexico High School. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's read the bio for Ronaldo, please.
Our second student of the month is Reynaldo Tirado. Reynaldo's hobbies are playing basketball and hanging out with his friends. His goals for the end of the school year is to graduate. His favorite subject is Spanish. He would like to attend college once he graduates. He would like to study to be a psychologist at IVC. He would like to thank his parents and family for supporting him and being there for him.
Thank you. Calexico High School. We have Mariela Ponce. Is Mariela here? You can come up, please.
Our first district student of the month is Mariela Ponce, 12th grader, and with an overall GPA of 4.24. She would like to thank her parents, siblings, and teachers for supporting her and always seeing the best in her. They motivate her to work her hardest and always try to be the best person she can. Her extracurricular activities are CSF and APYL, and has also been involved in volleyball and varsity tennis. She plans to attend a four-year university and get her associate's degree in elementary education and get a bachelor's degree after 4 years. Some advice that she would give to her younger self would be that she should enjoy all moments as a student because they pass by very quickly.
Renee Osuna and parents. Yep.
Our second district student of the month is Renee Osuna III, 12th grader with an overall GPA of 4.19 and current GPA of 4.6. He would like to thank his mother, sister for their support, and his dad for his inspiration. At times, he goes to the gym and occasionally plays basketball. He would like to attend a four-year university, either San Diego State or UC San Diego, majoring in engineering. The advice he would give his younger self is that he should trust his gut feeling and be fearless. Thank you.
From Calexico, 9th grade, we have Nancy Coronel here. Nancy? Ah, perfect. Come on up, please.
Nancy Coronel. After high school, Nancy would like to attend UC Berkeley or UCLA and would like to either become an interior designer or an engineer. Her favorite classes are biology, as the teacher makes the class interesting, and literature, as she is reading interesting novels. Nancy's favorite teachers this school year are Ms. Gerardo, Mr. Hentry, and Ms. Panella. When not in school, Nancy likes to play basketball and play the guitar and spend time with her family. Nancy would like to thank her older brother and parents for their support.
Javier Leos. Is it Javier? All right.
Javier Leos. After high school, Javier would like to attend a UC school and become an engineer or a math teacher. Javier's favorite classes are biology and honors English with Ms. Flores, and his favorite teacher this school year are Ms. Flores and Ms. Panella. Javier is part of the tennis team and likes to practice. He also likes to spend time with his dogs and his sister. Javier would like to thank his father for always being there for him and his mother for believing in him, for always being positive.
Moving on to Enrique Camarena. Do we have Alexa Castellum here? Hey, and parents.
Alexa is an 8th grade student. She is the daughter of Priscilla and David Gasam. Her hobbies are reading, listening to music, and hanging out with her family and friends. Her favorite subject in school is language arts. When she graduates, she would like to go to a university and pursue a good education in the area of engineering. She would like to thank her parents because they are always there for her and support her with everything that she does.
So again, congratulations, Alexa. Jose Zavala. And parents?
Jose Zavala is an 8th grade student. He is the son of Jose Zavala and Sara Zavala. His hobbies are playing video games, reading books, and practicing his instrument. His favorite school and subject is science. When he graduates, he would like to become an aerospace engineer. He would like to thank his parents because thanks to them, he is who he is. They have supported him in everything. They have helped him when he needs help, and they have picked him up when he falls.
Congratulations again. From Willie Moreno, we have Carol Gomez Hernandez and parents.
Eighth grader Carol Gomez Hernandez is Willie Moreno's District Student of the Month. Carol is daughter of Linda Angelica Hernandez and George Gomez. She has one older sister, Linda, who is currently a CHS Bulldog. Carol's favorite subject in school is ELD with Miss Lopez. She also likes the color purple, pop music, and the classic Mexican dish, rajas con queso. Carol is thankful to her mother because she has raised her children well and is a good person at heart. It is she who has inspired Carol's future dreams to attend Harvard and one day work as a producer on a big movie set. Somewhere along the way, she would love to visit the city of Forks in the state of Washington, a place she's read about in the Twilight trilogy. Carol's short-term goal is to focus on passing all of her classes so she can promote to CHS. And for her long-term goal, she wants nothing more than to have a successful career and after college graduation. Best wishes on your future endeavors, Carol.
And finally, Diana Murrieta. Is Diana here? No.
William Moreno's District Student of the Month is 8th grader Diana Murrieta. Diana is the daughter of Jenny and Jose Manzano, and she has 8 siblings, none of which live at home anymore. Some of Diana's favorite things include the color red, science class, buffalo wings from Little Caesars, any type of music that's playing on the radio, and last but not least, her mother, who is her role model because she's always strong and knows how to fix things. One of Diana's short-term goals is to maintain her good grades so she can graduate and move on to high school. In the future, she would love to travel to the city of Paris and the state of Hawaii. Diana's long-term goal is to study at UCLA or Cal State Northridge. She shared that she went on a field trip to Northridge and she loved the campus. In the end, Diana wants nothing more than to be a maternity nurse and own a home after her college graduation. We know you can do it, Diana. Wish you all the best.
Let's continue now with our staff recognitions, or presentations from Willie Moreno Junior High School. Mr. Vélez.
Okay. So we have 2 employees that we would like to recognize. Both of them are from our site, obviously, but they both work for our outstanding after-school program, which is also being recognized this afternoon. So our first recognition is for Ms. Zuima Rioseco. Zuima, are you here? Ms. Rioseco became a member of our Aztec family at the beginning of last school year. She assumed the role of academic support teacher and currently serves as the coordinator of our after-school program, which is an outstanding program. She is compassionate and caring person. Her work with our students and staff has been invaluable. Interestingly enough, this is her second tenure at Moreno. Her first stop at Moreno began in 2005 as an avid tutor and after-school program supervisor. She left Calexico and came back to Enrique Camarena until, that is, we stole her away and made her part of our Aztec family once again. Mr. Oseco, on behalf of the students, staff, and parents at Willie Moreno Junior High School, we thank you for your passion for student well-being, your commitment to student achievement, for your willingness to share your knowledge with all of us and employing your organizational superpowers for the greater good of Willie Moreno. You are a valued member of our Aztec family. Congratulations on your recognition. Is there... What's you got? Okay. Thank you. Okay, our second recognition for the evening is also from our after-school program, Mr. Castro. Go ahead and step on up. Mr. Castro is also a member of our after-school program. He is our lead tutor. His work has been invaluable with our students, and since joining our staff at the beginning of this school year, his impact was immediate. And to be honest, we did steal him away from Jefferson Elementary as well. This is also Mr. Castro's second tenure here at Moreno. As an interesting backstory, he was an 8th grade student at Moreno, I want to say about, 14 years ago, more or less, and he was one of my 8th grade English students. So it's been very awesome to see how much he has grown, both as a person and as a professional. In his away time from work, he likes to spend time working out and spend time with his family. He does have an identical twin brother, and I will say that when he was a student, it was hard to tell them apart. I have still yet to find out if he actually switched classes and had his brother attend in his place. Gerardo, on behalf of the staff, students, and parents of Moreno Junior High School, we thank you for your passion for your work. We thank you for your commitment to our after-school program. You are very much a valued member of our team, and we thank you on your recognition.
All right, thank you, Mr. Velez and Willie Moreno. For our students, parents, and audience, we have 2 quick presentations we're going to do, and then we're going to take a break. During our break, we do have refreshments outside, I think some drinks and cake, kind of celebrate your accomplishments. But we're going to do 2 quick presentations before we do that. So let's begin with H5. This would be Aurora High School Continuation High School model named a Model Continuation High School. Thank you.
All right, so it gives me great pleasure to first congratulate, Mr. John Moreno and the staff from Aurora Continuation High School that are here for being selected as a model continuation high school. And so just a little bit more about what that means. So there are more than 53,000 students that attend the state's 441 continuation high schools in California. And only 32, I'm going to repeat that, only 32 were selected as a model continuation high school. The schools were selected based on comprehensive and a very competitive application process that involves effectiveness, assessments, and use of data. The process includes a peer review panel on the site visit, which is somebody from the California Department of Education that comes down. Aurora High School is not new to this award. They have previously been honored with the Model Continuation Distinction, 2004, 2007, 2010, and 2013 by the California Department of Education and the State Superintendent of Public Education. They also were recognized just recently on Friday, April the 5th in Anaheim by the California Department of Education at their California Distinguished Schools Recognition Award ceremony in Anaheim. And so we want to congratulate again Mr. Moreno and the staff from Aurora High School and the students as well for being selected as a model continuation high school for 2018. Thank you for providing a caring, nurturing, and academic enrichment environment for our students at Aurora Continuation High School. And we will also be giving you a plaque, 2 plaques. One will be at the site, and we have up to 2018, but I know that you'll fill it at the bottom with more years as well. And the other plaque will stay here to join Enrique Camarena Junior High School's plaque as the schools to watch. So again, congratulations. Let's give them a big round of applause. And trustees, can you please come up for a picture? Thank you.
Quiero llorar y no puedo. I prepared a 20-minute speech to accept this award, but I'm going to cut it down to 20 seconds. Just want to thank my staff, my students, and the community for always doing the best for kids, and thanking you, board members, especially for supporting us in whatever way that you can by setting policy and revising budgets and whatever you do. So thank you, Mr. Superintendent, members of the board, staff, students, and arriba Calexico.
Let's continue with one more. This would be H6, Expanded Learning Sparks Recognition of Willie Moreno Junior High School as an Asset Premier Site. Ms. Huerta.
Good afternoon, Board. Good afternoon, members of the audience. It is with great pleasure that I am here today to recognize Willie Moreno Junior High as an Asset Premier Site. When I started in Calexico 4 years ago, it was hard to recruit staff. It was hard to recruit students. And 4 years later, we've totally turned around the site, which I'm very proud of, and it really has been a work of heart. Like I said, when I started 4 years ago, I was a site coordinator, and I started with one tutor. Since then, we've put a lot of work into the program, and I have to say that over the last year, the last 2 years, with Ms. Melissa Diaz being part of the team, this year we brought in Mr. Castro, and it just became a wonderful experience for the students, for the staff, for myself, for everybody that touches the Sparks After School program at Willie Moreno. It has just been amazing. If you turn to the screen there, we put together a little presentation just to highlight some of the wonderful things that they've done this has been over the last year and a half. Like I said, they've really turned around the program. The kids feel they have a place to go, and it's really become their place. I believe Ms. Rioseco mentioned the other day, somebody mentioned to one of the kids, oh, you're in ACES? He's like, no, this is not ACES. This is Sparks, which really touches my heart. I don't have a clicker. So, sorry. So our site coordinator, as Mr. Velez mentioned earlier, is Suilma Rioseco. This is her second year as site coordinator. Our line staff consists of Gerardo Castro, our lead tutor, Melissa Garcia, and our program had so many students enrolled, and there was such an interest that Mr. Velez gladly supported is paying for an additional tutor for our staff, and Eduardo Aguilar, joined the team later on in the school year. So we do thank Mr. Velez, Ms. Tavares for all the support that they've brought together to support our program. So this is Sparks for Lights On After School. They are doing some amazing things with technology. This is green screen. They're doing some videos and some montages. They have their own Sparks Cafe and Bistro. They've become an official ASB club, and so they fundraise. And from what I hear, they're tasty. And they've provided new enrichment activities. Ms. Rioseco participated in the Lemelson MIT Educator Workshop over the summer, and then she brought those activities into Sparks, and it's really a place where kids want to be. Okay. And if we can have the teams, the members of the team that are here. This is Audra White, and she has been our consultant and has played a big part in the work that we've had with me.
Hi, my name is Audra White. I work with After School Unlimited Incorporated. 4 years ago, Calexico traveled to San Diego to see premier sites. They don't have to travel anymore because we've got those premier sites right here. And I think we're looking at one of the best middle school, junior high programs in the state of California, and it's right here in our valley. This site has an incredible social and emotional learning environment. They implement a trauma-informed framework. It is a safe, warm, loving place with warm and loving adults where children thrive. It gives me great pleasure to announce Willie Moreno as the premier after-school staff essential training site for middle schools in the state of California from After School Unlimited. Brisa has prepared a plaque for each of you, and we have supplemented that with a $100 fun check that we're hoping that you can spend on doing something fun for yourself, hopefully some self-care, because we know this is a lot of emotional labor, and we are so proud of you and so thankful for what you do for our community and for our children. Thank you so much.
So would you join us for a picture?
So again, congratulations to all our students, and obviously the parents, and our school sites for their recognitions this evening. This time, we're going to take a quick break, about a 5-minute break. Again, there's refreshments outside. Please join us. And again, congratulations to all of you. Thank you. We'll go ahead and reconvene to our board meeting here. And we're going to continue with item H7. This is a Heffernan Memorial Healthcare District presentation.
Good evening. My name is Tomas Virgen. I'm the district manager for Heffernan Memorial Healthcare District, and I'm here to represent Heffernan and our willingness to enter into a grant for the summer swimming program. And I would like to thank board members Lorenzo Calderon and Ciro Calderon for championing this program. Our board just received a letter from the city yesterday, and it will be on the agenda for the May 1st meeting. And so far, everybody's excited about the program, and we want to thank your members for bring this to our attention, and I believe it's going to go through. So it's a $30,000 grant, and it's going to be for an 8-week program, Monday through Friday. And we are looking at adding a program for seniors and adding some aqua aerobics, and there's very few activities in the community. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me to the district. Our board meetings are the first and third Wednesday of the month. Okay, thank you.
Good. I want to thank you very much.
Okay, thanks.
So, Carlos, I understand the last year we already did it, right? Well, the last 2 years, but last year with the help of the Heffernan Memorial District, that we were able to do it. So, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's great. We actually had a partnership between the Heffernan and the city and the district. So last year it worked out beautifully, and so I think if we continue with the same partnership, I expect to see, the same smooth usage of the pool for the summer.
Okay, so it's a lot, so the program will be just like last year. We just have to wait until the summer school ends, right?
Correct.
Okay, what about Saturdays and Sundays? Do you remember?
It was built into the schedule last year.
Okay.
I think there was about 5 or 6 Saturday or Sundays that were built into it.
Mm.
So I anticipate the same thing will be true for this year.
Okay, yeah.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Moving on to item I, consent agenda. All items appearing will be acted upon in one motion without discussion unless any items pulled for separate consideration and action.
I move we approve.
There's a motion to approve the consent agenda by Mr. Romero, second by Mr. Lorenzo Calderon. Call for the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Move on to item J. This will be informational items, beginning with J1, Superintendent's Report.
Good evening, trustees. Good evening, community. Just want to advise the board, I was able to go to the Enrique Camarena Junior High School Schools to Watch Assembly. Took place on Thursday, April the 11th. We did have the Enrique Camarena Junior High School band perform, which was amazing, as well as the Calexico High School drumline. We did have from the California Department of Education, Mr. Scott Steele, who presented Enrique Camarena Junior High School with the 2019 Schools to Watch banner. So it was very exciting. The students were, super excited. The staff was recognized as well. Each of them and parents that were present received a pin in regards to the Schools to Watch. And again, this is a great honor. There were only 16 newly selected schools in all of California to be Schools to Watch. And so there is a plaque in the back that is recognizing Enrique Camarena as the Schools to Watch. They have been recognized at the state level, and towards the end of June, they will be recognized in Washington, D.C. as well by the Department of Education. So we're very proud of Enrique Camarena's accomplishments. Also, I was able to attend the Ivy ROP Showcase and Recognition that took place on April the 9th at the Casa de Mañana building in Imperial. And it was wonderful. We had 2 of our staff members recognized. We had Mr. Humberto Felix was recognized as the Alumni of the Year by IVROP. And then we also had Ms. Hortensia Armendariz, who was awarded the Business Partner Award by IVROP. So we want to congratulate both Mr. Humberto Felix and Ms. Hortensia Armendariz for representing Calexico Unified School District proudly. And also like to thank Mr. Lorenzo Calderon, who was present as well, recognizing our staff as a Calexico Unified School District board member and a board member for IVROP as well.
Well, Mr. Gonzalez, since you stole my thunder, thank you. Again, thank you. It was a great event, and I like to take this time to challenge our Calexico CTE next year so we can show up and represent Calexico. That's all.
Thank you. And then also did attend the California Distinguished Schools Award recognition that is put on by the California Department of Education. And that one was held on April 5th. I mentioned it when we were recognizing Aurora. And so that was held in Anaheim. So congratulations to Aurora again for their incredible work and for their recognition. And also representing the district, we had Trustee Enrique Alvarado present at that recognition. Ivy Press, I just want to give kudos for putting out the Circle of Friends, which is our annual Egg Fest, which was held at Calexico High School. April is Autism Month, and so I'm very happy to report that the article that came out in the Ivy Press, it actually came out on the 17th, shows our staff doing an incredible job when it comes to the Circle of Friends Club. About 100 of our students actually participated in the annual egg hunt activity. It was actually scheduled for Buckland Park, I believe, but it was canceled. But it was brought back to Calexico, and it was still held. And so, again, that shows the commitment of our staff to our students to make sure that they follow through with all these different activities. And more importantly, when it comes to inclusion of all of our students, I think that is just amazing. And I do also want to mention that when it comes to inclusion, Circle of Friends Club is not only a club at Calexico High School, but it is a club throughout all of our sites in the district. So kudos to all of our staff and students for really supporting the Circle of Friends Club and providing that inclusion. And then lastly, spring break, it begins tomorrow. And so I see the smiles on everybody's face, right? So there's no school from tomorrow, April the 19th, to next Friday. April 26th, school does resume again on Monday, April the 29th. And so I want to wish everybody safe spring break surrounded by family and friends. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez. Let's continue with item J2, Measure V update.
Good afternoon, members of the board, Superintendent Gonzalez, members of the community. My name is Cesar Vega. I'm your Assistant Superintendent of Business. I just want to give you a brief update on Measure V. We met last Friday with our Measure V committee. It was a successful meeting. Later on in the agenda, we have I think it's K13, we have a presentation by which I will present, but also Mr. Horton will give you hopefully an update on that one too. So we'll wait for that presentation then. Okay?
All right. Thank you, Mr. Vega. J3, this will be association updates. Let's begin with ACT.
Okay, good evening, members of the board, members of the public, educators. First, I'd like to thank our school board for joining the growing group of education professionals who are taking a stand against the proposed county-wide charter of Imagine School. Your board-approved resolution will join those from El Centro Elementary, Imperial Unified, Calipatria, and Sealy, with more to come. And these resolutions will help to cement our Valley's opposition to this reprehensible charter company, I should say, that for far too many years appeared to put profits over students. So thank you very much for passing that resolution at the previous board meeting. Also tonight, ACT expected the district to comply with our contract, which states in Article 4.6 that after ACT presents its sunshine proposal for bargaining, the district should provide a proposal for bargaining within 3 regular board meetings, this being the 3rd. We understand that there is a delay in your proposal due to a request for additional information, and we appreciate your conscientiousness. But I would like to stress the effects of a delay in the bargaining process. For example, teachers retire. It's a circumstance I hope to enjoy in about 20 years, but for many of our educators, it's a reality that will manifest itself in June. Here in Calexico, several of our most experienced teachers and counselors will happily enter their well-deserved retirement this year. But their absence will leave us with empty classrooms that we will need to fill. A delay in bargaining makes it more difficult to fill the positions left open by our retirees. Teachers are also retiring elsewhere in the Valley, from schools where teacher compensation far exceeds our own. I've compared Calexico to Brawley Elementary in the past. Brawley Elementary, a district in which their teachers make $39,000 more a year than our teachers, will be saying goodbye to nearly 20 retirees. So who do you think will replace them? It would be unrealistic to think that we won't be losing some of our best teachers, our newest teachers, to other districts. Negotiations offer us the opportunity to improve the circumstances of our employees. They also offer the opportunity, well, I should say your employees, not mine. They also offer the opportunity to make our district more appealing to new hires. This delay will most likely push our bargaining into next school year, reducing your hiring power and hurting our chances to attract new educators. So while ACT appreciates the board's desire for a more informed proposal, and we really do appreciate that, I'm not saying that sarcastically at all. I think, you know, when I first became president of ACT, we almost immediately entered bargaining. It was just a few months later. And the proposal that the district had at that time did not match what the board was looking for. And so I understand when the board wants to be very careful about what they propose to make sure that it represents what you actually want to offer. But we must point out the possible consequences of delaying negotiations. And so that is all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor. Continuing now with CSEA.
Belen Donato, CSEA Chapter 399 President. Good afternoon, members of the board and members of the audience. We as a union are here to help the district to improve the working environment. Until now, we are doing a great partnership with the district, and we want to continue that way. We expect respect of the legal procedures in our contract, especially regarding discipline issues. I would like to thank the board members to always listen CSEA concerns about this matter. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Moving on with item J4, Insurance Committee. Anything?
Yes, so we did have an insurance committee on April the 11th, 2019, and again, it was a very productive meeting. Thank the members of CSEA and members of ACT that represent are representatives of the insurance committee. One of the things that always comes out, or agenda item, is if there's any concerns or issues in regards to the insurance or the benefits. And so I'm glad to report that there's no concerns and no issues. And that has been constant throughout our meetings, which I'm very proud to report. The other one is that we're continuing to look at, we're marketing when it comes to our insurance plans. And so there's 4 that we're looking at. We're looking at Anthem Blue Cross, we're looking at Blue Shield, we're looking at CISC, known as Self-Insured Schools of California, and VIPA. And so when we go out to market, they're bringing back proposals. The next proposal that we're looking at will be at our next insurance meeting, which is scheduled for April the 30th, and they are held here in the boardroom. So that's where we're at when it comes to our marketing at this point. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez. Let's continue with IVROP report.
Yes, good evening, everyone. Regarding IVROP, on the 9th of April, again, they had their showcase at the Casa de Mañana, and it was a great event. Again, congratulations to Mr. Humbert Felix and Hortensia Almendares for the recognition and hard work and dedication to our school district. And the other thing was the law enforcement competition has been canceled this year, so maybe next year we'll have the competition. So, and that's all I have to report.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Calderon. This time, J5, we'll have our board reports. These are informational reports by board members, and no action is taken. Mr. Ciro Calderon?
Yes, good evening, everybody, and welcome, everybody. Thank you for attending our meeting, and welcome to our meeting again. Congratulations to all those students and staff members that were recognized tonight. It's always good to see that schools do take part in these meetings, okay? And again, this is the only reason why we're here, okay? This board is committed to making sure that not only we provide the sufficient tools for our students to succeed, but also to make sure that those students that do succeed and those students that are trying to succeed get recognized so we can push them forward and make them better members of our society. So again, congratulations to everybody that got recognized tonight. I went to, last week I went to Cesar Chavez to the open house, to the first one, not the second one, and I got to see a couple of classrooms. Very impressed with the attendance. Very impressed with what the teachers and staff were doing. I never seen teachers so eager for parents and members of the school to come into the classrooms and see what's going on in their classrooms. Okay, that tells us a lot about what is it that our teachers and staff are doing in their classrooms. So again, with that, have a good night, have a safe spring break, and see you next month. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Moreno?
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Again, thank you for coming tonight. Again, like always, congratulations to our kids and to our staff that were recognized tonight. Especially, I'd like to recognize the parents that actually push these kids to excel. Again, without them, I think the kids would not be here. And again, the teachers and everyone else that has to do with educating our kids. And that's all I have. Just have a safe spring break, and we'll see you again in May 23rd.
Thank you. Mr. Alvarado?
Just want to thank everybody for showing up here tonight, echoing the same sentiments from the other two board members. Just want to congratulate Blanche Charles, Aurora High School, which I got to attend. Great reception that they had there in Anaheim. Enrique Camarena, the Circle of Friends, and for Sparks down at Willie Moreno. That's pretty much it. Everybody have a happy Easter and great spring break.
Thank you. Mr. Romero.
Okay, and to echo what my colleagues said, thank you all for showing up here. Congratulate Blank Charles for being the fourth month, highest attendance. And congratulations to all the students and the staff who were recognized. Without you guys, the staff, this would not be possible. And a special thanks to Aurora High School, recognition to Aurora High School and to Willie Moreno Sparks program. And have a wonderful Easter.
Thank you, thank you. Again, we've heard a lot of activities happening in our schools. And I'll echo the same, there's a number of assemblies going on between now and our last meeting, field days, talent shows, soccer tournaments, egg hunts. There's a lot happening. That's good for our kids, good for our schools. Some of the things I did have some attendance at. This week, the high school admit acceptance recognition. Again, these are our seniors who are going on to higher educational opportunities. Calexico had a large showing of our students, just acknowledging their success. And also I want to mention, we've had two of our educators here with their children, so I think, so again, proud parents. Imperial County School Board's last night, again, meeting here in our county. Agenda topics, we're really focusing on advocacy, looking at fair and full funding, as we're talking about, across California for our schools, for our students. So looking at advocacy activities, meeting with legislators to really, talk about our needs here, especially in Imperial County, which are much different than Northern California or elsewhere. And of course, I want to thank everyone who supported, who attended, and just in general has been helpful with the Calexico Educational Foundation. They had their dinner, scholarship dinner recently. A number of folks here, supported that year after year, so we thank you for that. And that funding event helped support scholarships for our students. Last year, I think, over $20,000 easily, almost like 30 maybe, through scholarships last year for Calexico students going on to higher ed, as well as students who are in college seeking, assistance. Again, Easter this year is kind of late in our calendar, end of April. And, educators will recognize that's a long time. And our students feel it as well. So I'm glad, spring break is here. And again, I just wish everyone a restful time, recharge, and come back for our home stretch of the year. And that would be it. Okay, so let's continue with item K. These would be our action items, consideration and action approval for the following items. We'll begin with item K1. This would be the bid award and agreement to Nielsen Construction California, Inc. for the Calexico High School Godfrey Gym re-roof and HVAC replacement project.
I move we approve.
Second.
Well, I have a question before we go in.
Yeah.
The air conditioners, are they going to be brought down from the ceiling or?
That is correct, yes. They
That's
will be
why
brought
the-
down from the ceiling down to the ground level.
Okay, all right. That's all I have.
I know there's a motion by Mr. Romero, a second by Mr. Alvaro. Any other discussion from the members?
No.
No, hearing none. Let's call for the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. K2, agreement between the Calexico Unified School District and Concordia University for School Counselor Candidate Fieldwork Experience Program.
Move to approve.
Second.
So motion by Mr. Ciro Calderon, second by Mr. Alvarado. Mr. Calderon. Mr. Calderon. Any discussion? Hearing none, call for the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Item K3, agreement between the Calexico Unified School District and California State University, Los Angeles for student fieldwork.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Lorenzo Calderon, second by Mr. Alvarado. Any discussion? Seeing none, call for the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Item K4, this is an agreement between the Calexico Unified School District and Trans-Trax for transportation management software system.
I move we approve.
So motion by Mr. Romero.
Second.
Second by Mr. Ciro Calderon. Any discussion? Seeing none, call for the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Item K5, agreement between the Calexico Unified School District and Zonar for electronic verification of pupil riders, bus telematics, and electronic verified inspection reporting.
So
Co-
move.
Second with comments.
Okay?
Carlos, that we verified but did we verify other districts or other companies that are using this system?
This is a system that is used in other districts. So yes, and Mr. Vega can clarify a little more, but it is a system that is currently used in other districts.
Okay.
So, yes, thank you, Superintendent Gonzalez. So this is a system that is one of the most sought-after systems in California. This is a California-based vendor that it's able to provide support in case we need support. We can go to them instead of traveling out of state or requesting someone to come down from out of state. This is someone that is, like I said, California-based. I've used this system in the past very successfully, and one of the reasons that I like this system is because you can add more to it. For instance, the next item in the agenda, Sonar, is well, actually, we're talking about Sonar, but I mean, Sonar, it's easily connected with TransTracks, okay? So they talk to each other. So I think of TransTracks like a motherboard. So what Sonar is going to do, going to be able to migrate information into TransTracks so that we can use one system, that can do it all, basically. So it's going to be able to create routes for us. It's going to be able to produce pre-trip inspections electronically. It's going to be able to also provide GPS services. And it's also going to have the ZPass, the student ID identification software for students when they board the bus and onboard the bus. So it's a very robust system.
All right.
All right. Any other discussion? There was a motion by Mr. Alvarado, a second by Ciro Calderon. Call for the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. We'll move on to item K6. This is an agreement between the Calexico Unified School District and Envoy Plan Services, Inc. for retirement plan compliance, administration, and consulting service.
I move we approve.
A motion by Mr. Romero,
Second.
second by Mr. Alvarado. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, call for the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Item K7, an agreement between the Calexico Unified School District and Decision Insight for professional services and community demographics analysis and enrollment projections.
I move we approve.
So motion by Mr. Romero. Do we need some information or
Yeah,
discussion?
yes, didn't we already have such a program?
Mr. Vega.
Yes, Mr. Calderon. So what we have right now is a feature called School Locator. So basically, if anyone moves into the city and wants to know what school his or her child will pertain to, that School Locator feature will, based on the address, they will, show where they're supposed to go. What we are looking at in this additional proposal is the enrollment projections. So what it is, in order for us to develop budgets, we need enrollment projections that are accurately done and forecasted, not just for the current year, but also the next 3, 5, 10 years, so that we can better forecast our budget, per se. And also, it has also an enrollment projection for facilities purposes, so that we can adequately staff, classrooms. So if we are expecting growth, so that we can start projecting, budgeting now for 2 years down the road, so that we can start preparing for, furniture, things that might be needed. So this is a useful tool in the business department for budgeting and facilities purposes. And again, it's an added service to what we already had in place, which is a School Locator.
Thank you. Any other questions or discussion? There's a motion on the floor by Mr. Romero,
Second.
and a second by Mr. Lorenzo Calderon. I'll call for the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 5-0. Item K8, this is an agreement between the Calexico Unified School District and Fresno County for cyber high courses for 2019-2020 school year.
Move to approve.
Board?
I move to approve.
Motion by Mr.
Second.
Ciro Calderon, second by Mr. Alvarado. Any discussion? Call for the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 5-0. Item K9, this is an agreement between the Calexico Unified School District and Catapult CMS for web hosting and content management system for the 2019 through 2022 school years.
I move we approve.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Romero, second by Mr. Alvarado. Discussion, questions?
I just have a question. This is regarding our safety plan, correct? That's what they're using, Carlos?
Right. So we currently use Catapult as a management system.
Yeah.
What this is going to do is also upgrade our web system as well to make it ADA compliant. make it more user-friendly as well at the different sites, and be able to have a farther reach with our parents. The interesting thing about this one as well is it has an icon, like an app that you can put on your phone. Click on it and immediately goes into the website to access. So it's part of branding for the district as well. That's
Other
all.
discussion? Questions? All right. Was there a motion?
I made the motion.
Motion by Mr. Romero, second by Mr. Alvarado. We'll call for the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Item K10, an agreement between the Calexico Unified School District and Pyro Spectaculars, Inc. to provide a firework production for Calexico High School graduation ceremony.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Alvarado, second by Ciro Calderon. Any discussion? Call for the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 5-0. K11, agreement renewal between Calexico Unified School District and Keenan and Associates for property and casualty claims administration services.
I move we approve.
Motion by Mr. Romero.
Second.
Second by Mr. Lorenzo Calderon. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye, motion passes 5-0. Item K12, this is a memorandum of understanding between the Calexico Unified School District and the Imperial County Office of Education Professional Development for Calexico Unified School District summer school teachers in grades K-8.
And then you wanna talk?
Second, what a question, what comment.
Aye.
It says,
Go ahead.
it says 4,200 for training and prep. Is this per teacher or in general?
In general, for
That's it?
everybody, correct.
Okay, all right. All right, that was all I had.
Any other questions? Who made the motion, the first?
I'll make
I
the
did.
motion. Oh, you did?
Okay, Mr. Lorenzo Calderon, there's a second by Mr. Ciro Calderon. Call for question, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 5-0. Item K13, we did have a speaker on this item, Mr. Horton, I believe.
Good evening, distinguished members of the board and audience. I'm sure everybody's concerned somewhat about this particular item. This is in reference to the retrofitting of the building for the culinary arts. One of the things that we looked to, and we had a special meeting for the oversight committee, was this something that we needed to do? It is something that we very much need to do, because the safety of our staff, the safety of our students, which comes first, is very important. And the public want to know that when their children come to a school, it's an experience that they're going to remember for the rest of their life. As a class member of class of 1970, I remember my high school experience very much. It was something that added to the rest of my life. Now sitting on the Measure V Oversight Committee, I'm very happy to say that the Measure V looked at this and it was a no-brainer. Option 3, to retrofit these buildings are important. I believe we have like 6 of them, but yet we're concerned with this one particular building. And we took a vote to, let's say, endorse Measure 3, I should say, Option 3. I hope that the board will look at this, and I'm sure Mr. Vega can then expand it even more for what we need to do and how we can do it. In fact, it's even better for the students because they don't have to leave their classrooms over Easter break. They'll be able to come back to the same classroom, and this particular class, they're going to be coming into competition. And one thing we don't want to do is disrupt the students. So I really ask that this board look at the options and vote option 3. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Horton. Let me restate our item K13. This is approval of option 3 regarding Measure V, culinary arts renovation projects to address revisions related to AB 300 seismic modifications.
But, I'm sorry, I am required to have a small presentation. May I? Real brief, or?
Let me just.
You had it last.
Okay, if you want to go ahead and approve, that's fine. It's the same one. Okay, never mind that.
Thank you, Mr. Vega. There was a motion by Mr. Ciro Calderon, the second was by
Lencho
Mr.
Calderon.
Lencho Calderon. Is there any further discussion? All right, I think we're good? Okay. Yeah. Let's call for the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes
And thank you, Mr. Horton.
5-0. Item K14, approval of revised board meetings, agenda dates and deadlines calendar for 2019.
I move we approve.
Second.
So motion by Mr. Romero, second by Mr. Alvarado. Any questions? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 5-0. Item K15, this is approval of a job description for a new classified position titled Transportation Scheduler Dispatcher.
So moved.
A motion by Mr. Lorenzo Calderon.
Second.
Second by Mr. Alvarado. Any questions or discussion? Call for it. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye, motion passes 5-0. Let's move on to item K16. This is approval of the Title IV Part A of Every Student Succeeds Act Plan intended to improve student academic achievement.
I move we approve.
So motion by Mr. Romero,
Second.
second by Mr. Alvarado. Discussion.
Yes, I'd like to.
Some background, please. Some background information just to help us.
Yeah, so this is part of Title IV funding. So when it was submitted to the state, there wasn't funding available at the time. And so as funding from the state, is released, one of the areas where funding was available was under Title IV Part A. So now that it's available, we're bringing it to the board to approve to be able to expend this money.
And where is it going to be spent?
There's a plan.
Yeah, I mean-
And the plan includes 16.
So just roughly, what is it
Yeah.
that we're going to do with the
Funds.
funds? Are we gonna hire somebody? Are we going to spend it on people that we already have?
So, for example, some of the areas will be for expanded learning. Others will be to expand our AVID curriculum planning or throughout our K-12 district. Provide additional AVID parent trainings
Okay.
throughout the district. Additional academic support beyond the regular school day. Career technical education when it comes to the area of curriculum planning. Parent boot camp for incoming 7th graders at our junior high schools. Student orientation for our incoming 9th graders. Implementation of the Too Good for Drugs and Violence program K through 6 in order to support positive youth development and drug-free living. So all these are
Okay.
what
Thank
the money
you.
will be
Yeah.
spent.
Good.
Thank you.
It was good.
Yes, and the plan's attached if you want to read it further.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions, discussion? Was there a motion?
Yes.
Mr. Romero, a second by Mr. Alvarado. All right, we'll call for the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Moving on to item K17. This is approval of the 2019 instructional school calendar.
Move to approve.
A motion by Mr. Cito Calderon,
Second.
second by Mr. Romero. Any discussion, questions? Okay. Call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 5-0. Item K18, quarterly report on the Williams uniform complaint, March 13th, 2019.
Car-
Discussion?
Carlos.
I'd like to discuss it. I know the problem was taken care of. I think it had to do with the art program, the high school.
No, this had to, with the AP art history is
Yeah.
what it was, correct?
Yeah. I'd like to see if we can somehow, they don't have any computers, correct? Any laptops or anything?
One of the areas is the Chromebooks, right?
Yes. Again, I'd like to see if, eventually they can get some.
Absolutely.
With technology, we can accomplish a lot. And I think that's where we're headed, and we should honor, if we have the funds, of course.
Right.
Yeah.
And we'll be looking at that to make sure that that is supplied.
All right.
Are there any questions, discussion?
No.
All right. Is there a motion?
I think I've made the motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Romero, second by Mr. Lorenzo Calderon. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 5-0. K19, this is a rejection of claim, Christine Colunga versus Calexico Unified School District.
I move we reject.
Motion
Second.
by Mr. Romero to reject the claim.
Second.
Second by Mr. Lorenzo Calderon.
Oh, okay.
Discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye, motion passes 5-0. Item K20, acceptance of personal property loss claim for Mr. Carlo Mendoza. Discussion?
I move we approve
Motion by
for,
Mr.
Accept the
Romero.
laws.
Acceptance of lost property. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Lorenzo Calderon. Other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Item K21, notice of completion of Wardfield Parking Lot Rehabilitation Project.
I move we approve.
Second with discussion.
Motion by Mr. Romero, second by Mr. Cito Calderon for discussion.
So now that it's, that we have the notice of completion, now we can apply to, Vega, where are you? Oh. So now that we have that,
So, yes, so now what this means is the project is done and over with, so is, whatever paperwork is needed to submit for any type of state reimbursement, that's, this is when the process begins.
okay.
So, yes.
Did they fix the drainage issue?
Yes.
Yeah, the
same thing I
ponding
noticed.
issues that were addressed back in January, I want to say?
Yes, it was, actually. But do have one more question. The fencing that actually connects to here, is that still on standby until we?
Yes,
Because it's not finished?
it's not finished yet,
Okay.
yes.
All right, okay. But that's in writing, that it's not finished?
It is not finished
Because
yet.
we're going to close it today, and I want to make sure that that's completed.
Right, it will be completed, yes.
All right, okay. Yeah.
Any other discussion questions?
Not for me.
I believe there's a motion by Mr. Romero,
Second.
second by, it was Mr. Cito Calderon.
Yes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Item K22, this is a resolution proclaiming Teacher Day as May 7th, 2019.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Lorenzo Calderon, second by Mr. Cito Calderon. So discussion, resolution vote, Mr. Cito Calderon?
Aye.
Aye.
Lorenzo?
Aye.
Mr. Alvarado?
Aye.
Mr. Romero?
Aye.
Myself, aye. Let's go on to item K23, a resolution proclaiming May 19th through May 25th, 2019 as Classified School Employee Week.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion by Mr. Alvarado, second by Mr. Lorenzo Calderon. Questions? Resolution, Mr. Cito Calderon?
Aye.
Mr. Lorenzo Calderon?
Aye.
Mr. Alvarado?
Aye.
Mr. Romero?
Aye.
Myself, aye. K23, K24, resolution to declare April 22nd through 26th, 2019 as After-School Professionals Appreciation Week.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion by Mr. Alvarado, second by Mr. Lorenzo Calderon. Questions? Resolution, vote, Mr. Cito Calderon?
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Lorenzo? Calderon?
Aye.
Mr. Alvarado?
Aye.
Mr. Romero?
Aye.
And myself, aye. Ms. Pires, you wanted to comment?
Yes, I did want to comment. I want to say that you may question why it's April 22nd through the 26th. That's because it is a National After-School Appreciation Day. It's started with the National After-School Association, and it's celebrated the fourth full week of April. We did celebrate it last year. We didn't do a resolution, so this year we are putting it on for the board for a resolution. And I jokingly tell the staff, "You've been so good, and programs are doing so well. You deserve a week off." They get a chuckle. They chuckle. But we will recognize them, and we'll celebrate them when they return from the break. But just did want to acknowledge them. It's just one of those things that we want to bring it to your attention. We want to bring it to the attention of the community, just because our programs are doing so well. And this has really become a pipeline for future teachers. There's talk of a teacher shortage, and now we're looking at our after-school program as a way to help alleviate that problem, because now we are training, even the students at Aurora are receiving the same professional development that our after-school staff is getting. So now when they graduate from high school, they have their 48 units, they can join our program. They further their skills, they improve, they become really good after-school professionals, and then they get inspired and become teachers later on. So right now we have some after-school professionals that are going to be amazing teachers when they get there. They just need a couple more years so that they can finish their studies, but just wanted to give you a little more information on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lisa. And thank you for supporting and your advocating for your program, these programs. So you have the board support with this resolution. Item K25, this is a resolution regarding disposition of surplus asset, non-asset kitchen equipment at Rockwood Elementary.
So moved.
It's a motion by Mr. Alvarado.
Second.
I'm sorry, second. It's a resolution, yes. We'll begin with Mr. Cito Calderon.
Aye.
Mr. Lorenzo? Calderon?
Aye.
Mr. Alvarado?
Aye.
Mr. Romero?
Aye.
And myself, aye. Yes. Item
26.
26?
We already talked about it, so.
Okay, 26.
K26. Gonzalez.
I'd like to make a make a recommendation, I'm sorry, that the board approve the certificated employment report with the addition of new hire for the Assistant Superintendent of HR and Risk Management for Dr. Brian Thurman.
I move we approve.
So motion by Mr. Romero, second by Mr. Alvarado. Okay, call for the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
I will abstain.
And aye. So
Just
motion
a
passed.
point of clarification, that was a motion with that addition, correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
There's, motion passes 4-0 with an abstention by Mr. Ciro Calderon. Item K27, classified employment report.
I'd like to make a recommendation that the board approve the classified employment report as submitted.
So move. Second.
There's a motion by Mr. Alvarado, second by Mr. Lorenzo Calderon. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. At this time, board will reconvene into earlier closed session. Mr. Weiler?
The board will now go back into closed session to continue consideration of the items mentioned in Section D of the agenda. We may need this room for part of the closed session. If we do come back to this room for part of the closed session, when open session reconvenes, we will open the door and announce we're going into open session. Thank you.